You know that feeling, right? When you're trying to enjoy something you used to love, but it just doesn't hit the same. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into exactly why that happens. We'll look at why things might not feel as good as they used to, and how the world we live in has totally rewired our sense of reward.
I want you to just think back for a second. Remember a time when simple things felt, I don't know, bigger, like watching a movie was an event, getting lost in a video game for hours, or just completely disappearing into a good book. It didn't take much to feel totally captivated by whatever you were doing. And that feeling of satisfaction, it seemed to hang around for a while. It really stuck with you. But now, well, now it feels different, doesn't it? You go back to those same things and you try to get that feeling back, but it's just not there. It's not as satisfying, and it feels like something really fundamental has shifted, right? Not just in the movie or the game, but inside you. So yeah, let's figure out what's going on. Okay, so this feeling, it didn't just show up one morning. It was more like a slow, gradual fade. So subtle you probably didn't even notice it happening until one day you just kind of looked up and realized, things just feel a little off. And really, here's the absolute heart of it. What used to feel exciting, well, that's just your new normal now. The bar for what it takes to really grab your attention has been pushed way, way up. So the big question is, why? Why did that baseline shift? Well, the answer starts by looking at the world around us. Your brain, right now, is trying to deal with an environment that is packed with more stimulation than literally any other point in all of human history. I mean, think about it. We live in a world of more. Endless content to scroll through, nonstop entertainment at our fingertips, infinite options for what to watch, play, or listen to. This constant, never-ending fire hose of new stuff is a seriously powerful force working on our brains every single day. And all of that, it has a very specific effect on our psychology. I mean, when literally everything is available all the time, what happens to the value of any one thing? Well, the answer is pretty simple, actually. Nothing feels special anymore. Overexposure just kills the impact. It's like, imagine you got to have your favorite birthday cake every single day. The first day, amazing. The second, still pretty good. But by day 30, it's just cake. The cake didn't change, but because it's always there, a single slice just doesn't feel special. Okay, so we've got this outside world that's just bombarding us with stimulation. Now let's turn inward and look at what's actually happening inside your head, how your brain is processing and adapting to this completely new reality. And this brings us to the single most important idea here: baseline change. Look, your brain is an incredible adaptation machine. When you keep hitting it with high levels of stimulation, it doesn't just stay in a state of constant excitement. That would be exhausting. Instead, it adapts. It just raises the bar. What used to feel like a 10 on the excitement scale, well, that's your new 5. It's the new normal. In this chart, this shows that enjoyment gap perfectly. To get that same medium level of enjoyment from a movie that you got back in the day, you now need something way, way more stimulating. Your brain's expectations for what counts as engaging have just skyrocketed. And you know what else this does? It totally messes with our reward cycle. Back then, enjoyment was this lasting feeling, right? It had an impact. But now, it's often just a quick, fleeting moment. The satisfaction from one thing disappears so fast that it just leaves you searching, almost hunting, for the next quick hit. So, where does all this leave us? I mean, after hearing all this, it's really easy to start thinking the problem is, well, you. But it is so important to understand that this is not some kind of personal failure. That thought, that's an incredibly common one. You might feel like you're broken or like you just can't appreciate things anymore. It's so easy to blame yourself for not being able to just sit down and enjoy something simple like you used to. But listen, this might be the most important thing to take away from all of this. It's not a personal failure. In a weird way, it's a biological success. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. It's adapting. The problem isn't your brain. The problem is that the environment it's being forced to adapt to is just unnaturally, intensely overwhelming. So let's just quickly recap that whole chain reaction. It all starts with constant stimulation. That leads to increased expectations for what feels good.
That, in turn, shortens the feeling of reward we get. And all of it together creates a brand new, much higher baseline for what feels normal.
And here's the final thought. You're not enjoying things less because they've lost their magic. You're enjoying them less because your baseline for what feels normal has been completely redrawn. And that new normal, well, it just doesn't feel the same.